You're watching News 18 this morning. News from where you live.
It's Mayor Monday on News 18 this morning.
And we're happy to have Frankfort Mayor Chris McBarnes as our guest in the studio, so welcome Mayor McBarnes.
Good morning. A little warmer today, makes it a little nicer outside compared to last week, and thank goodness the snow is gone, I'll tell you what.
Absolutely. Well, before we get into the question and answer, we just want to congratulate you on the receiving the Chancellor's Award over at Ivy Tech. So very cool over there.
When your 200-day plan ended last year, you talked a lot about Ivy Tech factoring into expanding the city. So talk about how expanding the city is going so far and how Ivy Tech kind of factors into that.
Absolutely. Well, number one, something really special is happening in Frankfort, Indiana, thanks to Ivy Tech. Of course, we have a very large industrial park in the city of Frankfort, and nowadays, more than ever, it's important to give our children an affordable and convenient area for education. And this Ivy Tech happens to be in our downtown community, right in the heart of the city of Frankfort, Indiana. And the great thing about this project is the city of Frankfort, the people of Frankfort, made this project possible. In January of 2012, when we announced this project, we were looking at over a $4.1 million project. And I'm proud to sit here and say today that actually local government, the city and the county, only came together to fund $1.3 million of that $4.1 million project. The rest of the monies, Ivy Tech came together but with private citizens, small businesses, and industries to make this project possible. So we're excited about that. When we opened the campus last August, we were hoping to start with an enrollment number of 150 students. As we sit here today, and by the way, we opened the campus with actually an enrollment number of 184. As we sit here today, we're at 245. So our campus is growing. It's added a boom to our downtown. Students are walking to class, so now we have a great place here in Frankfort, Indiana for people to grow and to get an education and to have that great career. So we're excited about what's happening in our community thanks to Ivy Tech.
Moving on to our next topic this morning, some administrators recently within the Community School Corporation there in Frankfort got into some legal issues. As a mayor, just kind of your concerns or thoughts about that, and how could the city move forward going on from here?
Sure. Well, more importantly, as a citizen, as hopefully a father one day whose children are going to be Frankfort hot dogs, I think in any organization you're going to have flaws, you're going to have slip-ups. We are human beings after all. This can't be stood for, especially within our educational system in today's day and age, so I expect that organization to put more stringent hiring processes in place. We have to vet our employees, especially when they're reaching out and touching the public on a daily basis. So let's take this opportunity to learn from that situation, although an extremely unfortunate situation, to move forward and not only make our school system a better place, but our community as a whole.
Now, last year, Frankfort was a finalist for a Stellar Community Grant. Now, you didn't end up winning the grant, but it's still got to be a nice honor to be named a finalist. So any plans on reapplying for that grant or maybe other things coming Frankfort's way?
Absolutely. Well, we're always looking at national and state level grant opportunities. Now more than ever, it's important for local economies to keep their fiscal house in order and to look for other sources of revenue that aren't going to put the weight and the bear on the taxpayer's back. It was a grueling process to go through the Stellar Communities Grant, probably the most grueling competitive grant process Frankfort, Indiana will ever go through. Out of the dozens of communities that applied, I'm proud to say that we were the last 6 standing. But in these fiscal times, with all the weight that Ivy Tech's not only put on the public sector of our community, but the private sector in a very good way, I think it's important this year for Frankfort to take a step back and to reassess the situation, look at how the Pence-Ellspermann administration handles the Stellar Communities Grant. But it's important for our community to know, Stellar Grant or not, Frankfort, Indiana is moving forward. Our Pence Place Senior Housing Project from the Stellar Communities Grant, we're moving forward with that. Our pocket parks within our downtown, we're going to utilize our redevelopment commission to make these things possible, all centered around a booming synergy that Ivy Tech is bringing to downtown Frankfort. So yes, a little disappointing, but our community learned so much through that planning process. We're so much better off now. We're growing towards Interstate I-65, and we couldn't be happier. We're just going to keep our nose to the grindstone every day and move our city forward.
Looking good out there. Well, before we leave you, anyone who follows your Facebook page might see videos of you playing the guitar, singing. Talk a little bit about that and just kind of how, if you have any plans to ever move forward in a music career.
Sure. Well, I appreciate people getting on the Mayor Chris McBarnes Facebook page and checking out Small Town. I'm used to an audience of one, my grandmother, listening to me to play the guitar. No, when I was younger and I became very ill, I couldn't play sports anymore, so I picked up a guitar, and I look up to guys like Garth Brooks and John Denver and love playing their music. So it's just something when I get home at the end of the day to forget about the office for a second and just get into songs like Friends in Low Places and Thank God I'm a Country Boy. So just something fun to do on the side, but don't expect Chris McBarnes' name to be on any CDs. I promise you that.
Hey, you never know. Hey, thanks so much, Mayor Chris McBarnes.